so much, Braeden, for being willing to do this interview with me. Could you tell me a little bit about your position in Fume and what the organization is about? I know your website talks a little bit about it, but in your own words, what would you say?
Yeah, I guess I'm not really like a formal position. I guess, well, on my card it says I'm Director of Operations, but that's kind of a really flexible thing. But I'm a part of the Core 4, which is like the 4 founders of Fume. So we're the owners and we make decisions together on stuff. But I kind of specialize in more of marketing sort of philosophy and marketing, that type of thing. And then also just general planning, people orientation, and keeping all of us on the same page and having a plan and moving forward. So that's kind of what I do. And then a bunch of other random stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so like Fume was actually originally started by Jaron and Janae and my brother Josiah. So Jaron and Janae are also brothers, but not my family. 2 other brothers.
Oh, okay.
And so, it was actually started by them about 3 years ago. And I kind of heard about it from my brother Joe and just what Fume was, and I tried it actually like briefly the one time, and I wasn't even that impacted by it. I was like, this is weird. But then a different time I went and I tried it with Jaron and Janae's family, and I tried it like, wow, this is amazing. I think I didn't have proper essential oil the first time or something, and it just blew me away. And so I was like, wow, this is so good. And so I right away bought one for myself and started using it, and I loved it. And so I'd be in my dorm room and I'd be fuming and just using my Fume, and everybody would be like, what is that? What are you doing? I'm like, don't worry, it's not drugs, it's not anything bad, I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. So I actually ended up doing a marketing project for it as I was in school, working on for a marketing class. We did a marketing plan actually for Fume as a group project, and I really enjoyed that. It was so much fun getting deeper into Fume and seeing more of the potential of it and doing that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed that project, and following that I kind of had just started to talk with the guys and said, hey, like I'd really like to join you, and let's see what we can do with this and see where we can go. And so I ended up joining the guys actually in September of, I think it would have been 2017. I joined Fume as a partner, and we kind of then formulated our game plan on how we were going to reach the world with Fume and like go forward from there. So that's kind of, in a brief summary, kind of how I became a part of Fume. So
wow.
Yeah.
And before you joined Fume, how much has it developed since then?
Yeah, so like before we had kind of, I guess prior, Fume was like just sort of a side hobby type business. Like we did have a website, we did some online sales and different things, but it wasn't extensive. It was just kind of like word of mouth, a few people heard about it, and we'd make a few and sell a couple every month kind of thing. It was very laid back, but the people who got them were very impressed with them and really liked them, but it wasn't a business. It was just everybody else was working full time. It was just kind of a fun little hobby thing. So then, I joined and we kind of worked together and invested some money and said, hey, okay, let's see where we can go with this. And I kind of had an itch for a while to do something entrepreneurial, and I had a couple projects I was working on, and so being able to work on Fume, and I just wanted to see like, what can we do if we get a group of guys together who like have cool skills and have different strong points, and just see where we can actually go if we put some time into that. So
right. So are you all now working full time with this company?
Yeah, we are. We're all working full time, and then we also have, I guess I'm kind of part time because I'm working on finishing my degree right now. I'm doing some classes, but I was full time, and then we have 4 other people as well working full time for us. So.
Okay. Yeah. And have you taken any studies to, for instance, you said you did take a class on marketing.
Yeah.
But like, did you take any business, or are you most self-taught?
Kind of a combination. So like, I was doing a degree in psychology. I'd already been super interested in entrepreneurship. Been a part of another small business called Davis Drum. We made cajones. So I was a part of that while I was in college as a side business, and I love entrepreneurship. I love that stuff. So I'd already liked that, and then I saw this class being offered of small business and entrepreneurship with a prof that I heard was very, very good. And so I was like, I kind of want to take this class, and regardless of like if it would kind of be an elective for me, but I was like, maybe I'll look at doing a business minor together with my degree in psychology. And so I took that class, and I was just like, wow, this is so awesome. I love this. And it was such a good class. the teacher Michael Bell. His perspective on business, on being focused in business and serving people and making change in the world by positively doing business it just really captured my attention and my heart, and I was really excited about it. And so I ended up doing a minor in business administration. I'm not actually quite finished my degree yet. I have 3 more classes that I'm completing right now actually to finish up in April, but that was kind of, so yeah, I took those classes, and then I've done, I don't know, reading and stuff with marketing and different things just on my own time. But yeah, so it's kind of a combination. And then like I feel like my psychology studies and stuff totally factor into business and marketing and everything as well too. So
right. So once you became part of the team, you were able to take your marketing expertise and even developments in creating a business and make Fume from sort of a hobby side business into a professional company, which you have now a group of people working sort of as a full-time job.
Yeah, it was kind of like I came a part of it, but I wasn't just like the one component who made everything happen. It was kind of like we sort of at that point all decided, okay, let's actually invest more time and money and effort into this and see what we can do. It was kind of a joint thing of all of us coming together and saying, okay, let's do this, right? And we're willing to risk it together. So I was a part of that, being like, but it was our team doing that together. So it was, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And was it a risk to take that jump from first, having it as a side hobby and then becoming professional? Did you already know, it's already starting to pay for itself, so now we can make the jump? Or did you take that change?
No, like at that point it definitely wasn't paying for itself, and we just kind of had to say like we needed to invest in our production systems and our website and different things. So we kind of just said like, okay, we believe this is something that has potential and that could make a lot of positive change in the world, but we're going to have to put money up front to be able to do that and invest our time. And like it's just, we kind of had that belief of like, no, this is something that's good, this is something that people will appreciate and it will help people. And there was definitely times where you just kind of stop and you're like, what are we doing? We're investing all this time, like are we just wasting our time and all of our money and whatever? But as we kind of just saw that, yeah, that is a risk, but it was a risk that we kind of had thought through and had researched, and then they just have your gut.
Right.
So so that was kind of that process for us. Yeah.
When you say you researched it, like what does that look like in regards to like you didn't know if the product would sell?
Yeah.
And yet it seems that the timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
People are totally buying into it. I mean, there's the essential oils, right? That's really popular right now and so beneficial and helpful. But when you say research, what does that look like?
Yeah, so like our research wasn't highly formal. Like a bit of that happened in that marketing class and marketing report on a very surface level, but lots of the research is actually just getting feedback from people.
Okay.
And just people who've already bought the product and also just saying that they would be really interested in hearing the benefits that they've had from it, and then seeing like how many other people are there out there who are similar to these people, who would have a similar experience if they were able to, if the product was available to them and if they were able to see it, and kind of looking at that. So definitely looking at like the size of some of the different essential oil companies such as Young Living, doTERRA, and looking at how they're growing and how big they are and how extensive essential oils are in the world, and then we're a product that goes together with that. So that's a little bit of what we looked at, but lots of it was mostly just actually talking with people and hearing from people that, I think this is something I would appreciate, which in some ways is kind of informal research.
No.
But like, and in many ways it's kind of hard to get good research in things, like in so many things, because you're never gonna, I think in most businesses, when you're starting a business, you're not gonna have something and you're like, oh no, this is for sure gonna work. And if anybody claims that, they're kind of full of it. It's like there's always gonna be an aspect of like, I don't know. Like, because there's so many different variables, right?
Right.
So, that was kind of the process we went through.
Wow. So there's that, of course, that risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for anyone wanting to start their own business or their own company, are there any pieces of advice that you would like to pass on to them from things that you have learned having started your own business? And we'll start there.
Well, I think like the biggest thing is just being a person who's a problem solver. If you're someone who always looks through and is just trying to find solutions to things, it's okay. It's okay to be bothered by something that could be better and be okay with that. because sometimes that's where the newest solutions come from and new businesses come from, is when people are frustrated with something. And it's really easy when you're frustrated with something to just kind of be like, oh, well, whatever, it's not that bad, I can get through it. And there's a point where you do have to do that. But there's also an aspect of like, rather than just doing that right away, is to start thinking, what could we do better? How could we do this different? What are people looking for? So I think that's one of the biggest things, is just be a person who is a problem solver and who is seeking solutions, right? And rather than just being okay with whatever is happening as it is, but actually look, oh, is there something we could do better? So I think that would be a huge thing, is being a problem solver. I think as well, to be able to find those solutions, you have to also sort of be knowledgeable in different areas. So having a wide range of interests and dabbling in a lot of different areas, different fields, whether that's psychology, philosophy, different areas of business, different types of industries. Having a wide range of interests and knowledge will totally help you as an entrepreneur and in starting a business, because some of the best innovations come from people that are just knowledgeable in two different areas, and then they see, oh, this innovation in this area would totally apply to this other industry as well, or something like that. And so seeing those connections and seeing oh, this technology could completely change this industry, right? But you wouldn't know that. And there's kind of this tendency, especially in academia and stuff, where you have oh no, this is an engineer, this is a business person, all these different areas, which is good. It's fine to be specialized, but the special businesses often come through the cross-pollination of those, right?
Yes.
Of having, and that can be having your own knowledge, or also just having good discussions with people in different areas, or reading content in different areas and that type of thing. So
right.
Yeah.
So having multi-interests will actually make your business stronger and make it unique in the market.
Yeah, exactly. And make it so you can have ideas that are actually new and actually going to help people, right?
Right. Yeah. And when you say help people, how do you know if it is going to help people? Some businesses, for instance, that I see that are very popular today are things that I'm sometimes curious about. Oh, how beneficial is that? Do you think those kind of projects will last compared to something that people will?
It depends. I believe that the best way to do things is to try and have products and services that are just going to benefit people. People pay for value. If you're doing something that's improving someone's life, they're going to pay you for that, and that's fair. That's good. You're helping, right? It's not this oh, I got to twist your arm to buy my thing. It's no, I'm providing this thing that can make your life better, right? It's not this thing. So it's yeah, I think if you're finding those solutions that are helping people, you're going to be so much further ahead, and people are just going to desire what you have, and it's not going to have to be this hard sale necessarily. You might have to help them understand how you're going to help them and why you can help them and all those things, but once they understand how you can help, whether that's by providing a service or a product or whatever, it's going to be a natural connection, right?
Right.
And I think if you have a heart to serve people, and in doing that, people are going to appreciate that, and you're going to be rewarded for that. So
yeah, so it will always be in demand, or people will always want that, and you can feel good about the product that you're selling, because you get it, and of course you want to help people. Exactly. That is absolutely wonderful. I've learned so much. Thank you so much, Braeden. I'm just my brain's just so good. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we conclude this interview?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of our story.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
To share. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. That's all.